You know, so it's better to use credit. But every month they charge you $12 if you use debit. So let's say for instance you got maybe about $5 in your bank account, and they charge you that $12 fee, which in terms it make you overdraft your account. And when you overdraft your account, they want to charge you extra $30 or $35 for overdraft fee.
When they the ones that took the shit.
So the devil, he'll even take money you don't have and put you in the negative. He taking money you don't even have, man.
You can go.
If thieves by night come, no, if thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough. Verse 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have covered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled. His brethren and his neighbors, he is not. Leave thy father's children. I will preserve them alive, and let my windows trust in me. For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he had shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it.
That's it. Right, so you're going to drink of the Most High's wrath, you know, which is basically like the scripture says, is that punishment. You know what? Like Lamentations 4:21 says, rejoice, eat them, the cup shall also pass under thee. You know what? So that's that cup, you know what? We drunk from it, you know, you got drunk, you drink from it. You grab that from me,
Second Ezra chapter.
Wait, hold on, can you grab that from me first?
This is Revelations 11 verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
Right, so it says the third woe. It doesn't say the fourth and the fifth and sixth. You know, it said the second woe and then the third woe. So woe is destruction. You know, and destruction is talking about your World War I, World War II, World War III. You know what? So yeah, World War I came. And then not too long after that, World War II. And then now, not too long after World War II again, it's going to be World War III. You know, World War III is going to come, you know, and we already in the midst of it, really. You know, it's going to just escalate and get, you know what, more amped up, you know, as time comes to pass.
Didn't Albert Einstein say something along the lines of, I know how World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones?
Second Ezra chapter 15 verse 20. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun from the south. Oh, you want me to start with 27? Yeah. Verse 27. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For Yahweh shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him.
I still don't have it.
Right, so some of the plagues, you know, and the angels, you know, they holding the plagues, they holding back the destruction, you know, the winds, you know, of this earth, you know. So you're gonna have, you know, destruction come upon America. You know, can you read it? And just like in ancient Egypt, you had plagues. You're gonna have plagues over here in this Egypt as well.
Where behold a horrible vision and an appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great
those Carmanians, those Punjabi, you know, Slurpee drinking, you know, carpet munching, Aladdin motherfuckers, you know, Elam, or you know, basically Iran.
Yeah, the people that are in Iran right now, that land was wasn't it called Persia? You know, it was called Persia, but now it's identified as Iran.
It didn't change that long ago too.
Yeah, that's all I'd say. It was recent, basically. Yes, I find it.
Also, the Carmenians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. Then these shall be troubled and keep silence.
Can you go up 2 more verses? Because it said, you know, then so the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. You know, because remembering their nature is, you know, the nature of Ishmael. You know what? Ishmael was he was basically Ishmael means affliction heard, because the Most High, you know what, basically was in the wilderness. I mean, Ishmael was in the wilderness, you know what, with Hagar, you know what, and you know basically they were sent away, and you know what, the Most High, you know, said, you know what, I'll be with you, you know, not in the sense that, you know, the Most High going to give His law, statutes, commandments to you, and you're going to dwell with me, and you know, and assalamu alaikum, stuff like that. You know what? Most High didn't do all that. You know, but He was just with them. You know, just so to set them up, just really to be slaves for us. Is it in Genesis 2? Okay.
This is Genesis 16 and 11. And the angel of Yahweh said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because Yahweh hath heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man, his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
Right, so Ishmael is going to be wild. You know what? Basically, you know, those are the ones, you know, blowing themselves up. You know what? Strapping, you know what, bombs to themselves. You know what? Praying, you know, because they think, you know, when they die, they're gonna get, you know, how many boys is it in heaven? 72 boys, you know. They anxious to, you know, blow themselves up from some shit like that.
Yeah,
right. You know, and so-called Jake want to beat Islam. You know, that's the dumbest shit in the world. You know what? Most High, you know, didn't give His covenant with Ishmael. So why the fuck do you want to be, you know, Ishmael? Ishmael wants to be you.
Matter of fact, Most High didn't give His covenant to the Egyptians, so why the hell would Jake want to be a damn Egyptian?
I don't know. Jake want to be everything but Israel.
Yeah, Esau want to be everything but Israel.
I want to save everybody.
Keep reading that second Ezra.
Also, the Carmenians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. Then these shall be troubled and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them. And then their host shall be fear and dread and strife among the kings. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south. They are very horrible to look upon.
Right, so he said clouds. Now, if you look up in the normal, you see a cloud, you ain't gonna be scared of a cloud. Right. A cloud, nothing scary about a cloud. Read that again.
Behold, clouds from the east, from the north unto south, and they are very horrible to look upon.
Why is those clouds so horrible to look upon? Because there's something that's in those clouds.
Full of wrath and storm.
Go ahead.
they shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star, and blood shall be from the sword unto the belly, and dung of men unto the camel's hoof.
I gotta put this up. This is Joel 2:2. A day of well, let me start at 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in the holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. In the morning spread upon the mountain, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. And the land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them.
Right, so basically destruction. You know what? So basically, you know, in those clouds, you know, it's nothing nice. You know, can you get that Revelations for me, Zion?
All right, this is Revelations 1:7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierce him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
Right, so that's talking about Howard Shai, who you call Jesus Christ. He said he cometh in clouds. You know, every eye shall see him. You know, so everybody's going to see him. You know, even those that pierced him. So this is so basically, you know, just like how the Most High. I mean, just like how, you know, Ezra's seeing in the clouds, he's seeing a horrible vision. You know, he's seeing the same. You know, John saw the same thing in the cloud. You know, Howard Shai is in that cloud.
Second Maccabees 5:1.
This is 2 Maccabees chapter 5, verse 1. About the same time, Antiochus prepared his second voyage unto Egypt. And then it happened that through all the city, for the space almost of 40 days, there was seen horsemen running in the air, in cloth of gold, and armed with lances like a band of soldiers, and troops of horsemen in array, encountering and running one against another, with shaking of shields, and multitudes of pipes, and drawing of swords, and casting of darts, and glittering of golden ornaments, and harness of all sorts. Wherefore every man prayed that apparition might turn to good.
That's basically it. That was just the angels that were there for a space of 40 days.
But behold, this is 2nd Ezra 15 and 34. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. They shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star. And blood shall be from the sword unto the belly, and dung of man unto the camel's hoof. And there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon the earth. They that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them.
Okay, that's it. But basically, you know, because they say, you know, the mighty men of Babylon, we know, like fucking women, they gonna be scared. You know, it ain't gonna be no, you know, put it like this: in basic training, they train you, you know, for stuff that you're gonna encounter. You know, they might, you know, wake you up at like, you know, 4 in the morning because, you know, one day, you know, in real life, you might be, you know, somewhere in the jungle or somewhere where you at, and they might come up with guns, you know, so they try to brace you. You know what? for basically what things you might see. There's nothing you can do to brace you for what's gonna happen right here. You know, there's no amount of videos, video games, anything like virtual reality. Nothing can brace any soldier for this. So soldiers who normally are commendable for being brave, they're gonna be scared as shitless. They ain't gonna be no Purple Hearts for no fucking veterans for any shit.
The scriptures talk about how their men shall become as women, you know, in those days. And in the American military, hell, they're letting men become women, you know, transgenders. So these men are going to be very fearful, man. Like the Ox says, it is nothing that can prepare you for that in those days. In these days, so like, this is Revelation 20 and 7. And when the 1,000 years were expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. Yeah, that's it.
Well, Esau basically, you know what?
I can read it. They kept the saints.
That's good.
Okay.
But Esau, you know, basically gathered. Can you get that? Say gathered, gathered the nation.
And when the 1,000 years were expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea.
Right. So Satan has already been bound. You know, and he's already been loosed from being bound. So it's not like the Most High is going to fight Satan, bound him up, and then maybe about 2 years from now, 1,000 years, Satan's gonna get free, and they're like, hey, come on, you know, let's fight these Israelites one last more time. You know what? It ain't working like that. It doesn't happen like that. John, you know, Revelation bounces around in time. You know, so this isn't talking about after Satan is defeated. You know, he's gonna be bound. You know, because after so-called white man is defeated finally. You know, he's going to be burnt up. You know, he ain't going to, after he serves slavery 1,000 years, he get burnt up. He's not going to come out, you know, try to, gather all nations, stuff like that. Because I think what's it, 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 50, we have spiritual power, you know, by then. You know, so you won't be able to do shit against us. And also, Esau knows that. You know, by that point,
This is Ezekiel 38 and 1. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith Yahweh power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws,